Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday. It is Wednesday, January the 11th, 2023. Y'all, we're at what we call Hump Day. We're almost there. A lot of news to cover today. I'm excited to see all of you tuning in here. I see Shirley Nicholson. Shirley, we're still praying for your husband in his recovery. Marion Jackson, good morning to you. I see you, Deborah Johnson. Good morning to you. We're also praying for you. Robert Holman, good morning. I see you, Latrice Jones. Good morning. What's up, Jacqueline? What's up, Pastor Angie Shannon? Good morning to all of you. I saw some more people come in here. Hopefully, I can grab all of you as you're coming in here. But again, we have a lot of news. Also, I want to shout out my nephew today, Isaiah. Isaiah has made the decision to return to school and he is excited. Isaiah, you want to come in here and say hello to everybody and show your excitement, show that smile on your face. So, congratulations to you. Can you tell all of us what you're doing? What's your focus? How you're working through this? Give us just a little snippet of that today.
Of course, I can. First off, good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to News in Motion. Um, but I will be attending Columbus State, and I will be enrolling in their digital video program to earn my certification. Um, I'm I'm in the field of videography. Like Miss Gail said, I'm a media freelancer. So if you need somebody for your next project, hit your boy up. I got you.
Well, we're excited for you. Congratulations again. I've been excited for him ever since he told me. I'm like, yes. So this morning I checked in. How's it going? How did it go yesterday? So I'm just so excited about your journey. So if you need anything from the News in Motion viewers, let us know.
Absolutely. Thank you all for your support.
Absolutely. And y'all don't forget, he's a college student now. Go ahead, Isaiah, put your cash app up there. Y'all, let's support him. He needs books. He needs backpack. He needs lunch money. He needs coffee. He needs some assistance. So, some gas in the tank to get to and from. So, y'all, let's bless him today as well. So, Isaiah, when you go off of there, go ahead and throw your cash app up there this morning. All right, I see my brother in here. I see Pastor Alex in here. I see Tracy Burrs in here. I see Deborah Sneed in here. I see Lori Wallace. All right, y'all, we got to get to the news that's at hand. Before we do that, so again, many of you were asking, and some of you DM'd me on yesterday after we went off the air. You can now secure a promo spot. Whether that is a 30, 45, or 60-second commercial, which you have to submit that. You have to put it all together. We'll just upload it. Or if you have a graphic that you put up and then you submit to us the small paragraph of what it is that you're doing along with how people can reach you. So Isaiah, if you could put that graphic up so people can contact us, you would just send an email to newsinmotionwithgail@gmail.com. Y'all, this promo spot, we are starting off very low, $50 per placement. So if you want it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's $50 Monday, $50 Tuesday, and so forth. So we just wanted to put that out there. So thank you, Isaiah, for that. All right, y'all. Again, today is Wednesday, January the 11th, 2023. I am your host, Gail Dudley. If you are tuning in by live, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, or if you're joining us on the podcast platform or audio, wherever you are tuning in, I just want to say thank you, whether it's live or the replay. Thank you for allowing me to spend a little part of your day with you. All right, yeah, before we went on air, there was some breaking news. So if this involves you, just be aware of this. Flights have been grounded across the U.S. after FAA failure. Y'all, the Federal Aviation Administration system failure caused some flights across the United States to be grounded, the agency said this morning. They're not sure the full extent of the delays. More than 700 flights so far have been delayed. It's only 7:25 a.m. Eastern time. Check with your airline if that involves you so that you would know what you need to do. So just contact your airline, but it's a mess. They said it's a mess across the U.S. So just be aware of that. I see you, Dr. Antoinette and Shardini, and I see you, Adrian, coming in from YouTube, and Fred Jones. All right, y'all. In case you didn't realize this, and although we're only 11 days in, y'all, this is January, which is called Dry January, which means no alcohol. So if that's you, they say it's a good time to detox your system, purge your system. We talk about how much toxins come in your system from drinking alcohol. I know the mimosa. I got it. I got it. I got it. But it's dry January. So if you want to partake in that, then do so. All right, y'all, what's really going on? Now, not giving you conspiracy, I'm talking about how convenient. How convenient that all this is going on. All these sources are coming in, whether it's The Guardian, Axios, PBS, ABC, AP, New York Times, so forth. Uh, Los Angeles Times, so forth. All right, y'all. I shared with you all this on yesterday about these documents. Now, I see the same alerts and press releases as everyone else. And then you come together with your own storyline and what that's going to look like. I'm trying to get how do we go from what I reported yesterday, which everyone saw the same thing, to what we saw yesterday afternoon into evening and as early as this morning. It's like, what's really going on? What's really going on? All right, y'all. The documents was found in President Biden's from his found by his personal lawyers at the start of November, actually November the 2nd, 2022. Isn't it convenient that we're hearing about it as soon as the House dealt with their negotiations with the Freedom Caucus? Just laying it out there, no conspiracy, laying it out there. Biden's personal lawyers sent the documents to the National Archives, which referred the matter to the Justice Department, as they should. But it's also interesting that the National Archives said they weren't aware that the documents were missing. How did you not know the documents were missing? There's a lot of unanswered questions. So I decided that today I was going to show you, and I know there's some students tuning in, some from Olentangy, so good morning to you. I decided I was going to show you my frame of putting stories together. Everyone has their own way, but I'm going to show you this, my intellectual property, but I'm going to show you this. So this is on the iPad. Hopefully you can see it. So I start with, how do we put that up there? I start with the box, okay? The box. And from the box, I ask certain questions. I asked, number one, when was the box found? So that would be November the 2nd, 2022. Now, the other thing I wrote down here was that's before the election. The election was November the 8th. Again, not conspiracy. These are questions you must ask when you're connecting the dots so that you're not putting misinformation out there. Because I'm still trying to understand, how did we go from the press release that we all received to all of these different analysts and spins and so forth as the week continued. Then I asked the question, where was it found? Well, office space that was occupied by then Vice President Biden at the University of PA, a University of Pennsylvania. By who? I have down here Biden's personal attorneys. And I said, why this office? These are how I formalize stories. So when you're putting something together, y'all, this is great for content writing. This is great when you're putting together an outline. This information, use it. I'm giving it to you, so use it. What's up, Karen? I see you, Rosanna. Why this office? And I put down here, after I followed all the different press releases, he kept an office at the Biden Center for Diplomacy until 2019. My next question, well, who's occupied the office since 2019 to 2022? So far, I can't find anybody. Then I said, why now? Why now? Why did the personal attorneys decide to go in there on November the 2nd to start shutting down that office? I still don't have that answer. I still don't have that answer. So I can't give you news if I don't have it. So y'all, there's some holes here. So before you think something as XYZ, whether it's negative or positive, make sure you're able to fill in all the blanks. So far, I can't fill in all the blanks. I also say, why now? After the GOP House Freedom Caucus did their negotiations. Now, not for or against, that's just a question. And I put that in a different color on my iPad because I want that to stand out. Like, what is this? Why is this? Let me go back to this. Let me dig into this. Then I have on here, if found on November the 2nd, why did we not hear about it until January the 9th? That was interesting. And that's still interesting. Again, don't know. Questions I don't have answered. Who had access to the office? Another question, only this box in the closet, explain that. So this lonely box was just sitting in the closet. Who, what? How did it get there? And then I have on here National Archives stated that they didn't know that they were missing. So this is just step one of how I began to put this together. So I don't have any answers for you. And I want us all to start slowing down before we quickly jump to something without knowing anything. Now, it doesn't look good. Let's be honest. It does not look good. He says he's surprised. Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, has since assigned a Trump appointed U.S. Attorney in Chicago. And my question with that is why? Why did you need a Trump appoint? Why didn't you do a Bush appointed attorney? Why didn't you do a Clinton appointed? Why didn't you do a whoever appointed? A Reagan appointed? Why? Good morning, Judy, and happy birthday to you. The White House is cooperating with the National Archives Department. On the day of recovery, the White House counsel noticed this box and they contacted them immediately and turned the forms over to them the very next day, the next morning to be exact. Now, y'all, on yesterday, it's unfolding. On yesterday, Representative Mike Turner, Republican. So of course I highlight his name. So I use a totally different sheet and I put Mike Turner in the center. And then I begin to ask these different questions as I'm trying to formalize this information. This is how you do it. He's a Republican. He sent a request to the Director of National Intelligence asking that Biden's retention of the documents put him in potential violation of laws protecting national security, including the Espionage Act and the Presidential Records Act. Well, let me tell you what I found about Mike Turner. He just thought there's no way that the former guy should be a part of the Espionage Act or the Presidential Records Act. So he had more documents. So why didn't you have just as much fire behind the former guy as you do when in reference to the current guy? Explain that. Furthermore, the National Archives hadn't asked for any documents to come back, where they had asked the former guy many times to return the classified documents to the National Archives. When he did not, that's when they decided to do the raid. They want to know why they're not raiding Biden's home. Are you serious right now? But hold on, it keeps going. AP reports that on yesterday, Representative James Comer, the new GOP chairman of the House Oversight Committee, sent the White House counsel's office a letter requesting copies of the documents found at the Biden office, communication about the discovery, and a list of those who may have access to the office, which I want to know that list. Where they were found. The White House didn't immediately respond to requests. Now, understand this, nobody really knows the different documents or received intel on the stuff from the former guys' Mar-a-Lago boxes. So why all of a sudden do you want this? And if they're highly classified documents, should you have them anyway? Y'all, there's a lot that we have to unpack here. Now, y'all, while this is unfolding, Axios is reporting that also on yesterday. See, this is again, go back to that circle in the questions I had on the graph I showed you all. It's very interesting that the Freedom Caucus held hostage for 4 days, not until 15 votes, the House Speaker. And then all of a sudden, there's all these new committees that are being formed. The demands of, and I shared with you all yesterday, how many was sitting on the House Rules Committee. 4 Freedom Caucus members are sitting on the House Rules Committee, which only seats 9 people. The Democrats have 3. Just follow me. So on yesterday, the House voted to establish a select committee to investigate the weaponization of the federal government. This ties their complaints of public grievances by the former guy and his allies. They're like, there's so many grievances that he put out there in public. And so we're going to put together a select committee, and this is what we're going to do. So let me tell you what they're going to do, because I dug into this too. Y'all, this is the excitement, and this is what we need to continuously see, hear, and understand. All right, y'all, here's the big picture. Here's the big picture. I hope I can get into this. All right, y'all. Now, This is about the alleged career government officials have unfairly targeted conservatives. This is what their select committee's putting together. They're wanting to know why they have been targeted. Have you? All right, we're just gonna put that. No, no, there's scandals. There's how many cases, open cases? We have Fulton County getting ready to turn in their report. We should hear something from that out of Georgia, January 24th. Did we not all hear the telephone call of you talking about can't you find just 11,000 more votes? We heard that with our own ears. Did your former CFO end up going to jail for 5 months, which I think that's too little of time? 5 months for some stuff. Did you not have a university that collapsed? Did you not have money that did not go to different charities? Come on, no, they were not targeting you. These things are truth. Also, DOJ investigation into the events surrounding the January 6th Capitol riot. This select committee wants all that shut down, want the reports gone, want there to be no more conversation about that. Isn't that interesting? Why not? Why not? Yeah, this is all coming out of a select committee. This goes back to why we vote. This goes back to why we vote. Latrice Jones says now Pence is talking about a double standard in the Biden administration. Really, and let's talk about that, Latrice. I heard that. I was like, dude, they had a rope ready to hang you. You still defending? Really? Are you still defending? Jacqueline says they're suspicious minds. Y'all, there's a lot to unpack here. There's a lot to unpack here. And that's why I think it's so important for us before, especially with news, before we jump in, we're going to pick this apart. We're going to look at it from different angles so that we can bring you back this information. That's what's important. We want to bring this to you from different directions. So then some right-wing Freedom Caucus, hello, we know who they are now. Members have also championed the cause of defendants in January 6 cases, alleging mistreatment and political persecution by federal prosecutors. They stormed your Capitol. They came to hurt people. They killed. Someone died from this. Actually, two people died. I think it's two. And correct me if I'm wrong. During this time, you were going through offices saying, "Where's Nancy? Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now?" The other day, and I'll say this openly, on Friday, when I was watching around midnight, when all stuff was going to just break off in there, I said, wow, this looks like a different level of January 6th all over again. And it was on January the 6th. Okay. And I thought about like, this is a very interesting thing. So storming the Capitol didn't quite work. So now you're going to hold people hostage and have a hostage takeover until your demands are met and the speaker is weakened. You can remove him from one vote at any point in time whenever you wish. Are you serious right now? You got 4 people on the House Rules Committee. Y'all, that's a significant committee. And we wonder why, you may wonder why I talk about voting, because what's happening, things are being stripped away, continuously being stripped away. I'm gonna get to Ron DeSantis in a moment, y'all, and all of these pieces and parts connect. We cannot stay focused on what's happening here. We have to stay focused. Now, what they're saying, Representative James Comer, which I've already talked about that, they're talking about they're going to invite them to come to the committee. They want to investigate Joe Biden. Remember, I told you all this right here on News in Motion before the November the 8th election. I said, listen, if this happens, they're going to investigate the president of the United States. I told y'all that. I told y'all they were going to impeach the attorney general. I told y'all that. I told y'all all these things, all these things. This is why we need to do what we do and keep connecting the dots and keep getting it out there. Representative Thomas Massey, Republican, Kentucky, a libertarian-minded conservative, is skeptical of federal security apparatus. He pointed to the IRS targeting of Tea Party groups in 2010. Now he wants to support the former guy. I'm like, we come back with the Tea Party? Like, what is happening right now? Y'all, this is huge. And I encourage you to look for it on your own if this is something you're interested in. Axios continues to break down. Brian Fitzpatrick, Republican of Pennsylvania, talking about they want to do more investigation. Mike Lahr, Republican of New York, moderating. And now people are really starting to look at George Santos like, where do you fit into this box of rocks, if you will? So, y'all, a lot is happening. And we cannot just say, oh, well, that doesn't involve me. Yeah, it does involve you. It involves all of us. So that's what's happening through the Axios report. So, y'all, I gave y'all a whole lot and didn't even give you everything that's here, but there's a lot to unpack here. And I'm not satisfied. So I got to keep searching. I got to keep looking. I still have questions I want answered. I just keep saying to myself, how convenient. The other thing I said last night when I was reading through, and there's all of these different press releases out there, I was reading through some of the press releases, and for whatever reason, the late John Lewis came to my mind, which took me to the congressional hearing. And I posted on my Facebook page with Michael Cohen. And I said, he told us how they operate. And again, not conspiracy, but it's like, let me go back and see the transcript to some of the questions that John Lewis at that time was asking Michael Cohen and how Michael Cohen was responding. And I came up to a particular line that made me just freeze, where he said, we have a way to do anything and to get anywhere. That's serious. That's serious. So I'm back to, where did this box come from? Why all of a sudden now? Where did it come from? And why was it a lonely box in a closet? So then of course I'm like, don't y'all have some video recording of who was in and out that office? Was the office locked? More questions that we don't have answers to right now. But these are things that are happening. So, y'all, as we're talking about what's happening, let's look at Tampa Bay Times. Yeah, they report, and the headline reads, DeSantis seeks conservative overhaul at Florida Liberal Arts College. So the governor appointed a group of hardline conservative loyalists. And this is coming straight from Tampa Bay Times. There's their quote, Friday, into leadership positions at the new College of Florida. Now, they say it's a move that comes as Republican governors plots a remake of the state's higher education system with the books, banning words, terminology, and so forth. Not only has he banned Latinx from documents in the government, y'all, so has the newly elected governor, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Why are you banning certain words, y'all? We should be very concerned. This is all a part when we're doing voting. So it says several of his appointees are vocal opponents of gender and race related education issues that have fueled the right culture wars in schools, excuse me. So they were picked as DeSantis, who is eyeing a potential 2024 uh, White House run, and he vows to continue to support and identify every school throughout the US. Y'all, this is what's happening right now. So he's already looking at. So if he's putting these words out here now, y'all, this is what he's going to run on. This is going to be his platform. Y'all heard it here first on News in Motion. So we also have New York Times, just to shift it just a little bit, but it's still, we still got to deal with it. New York Times report that on today, Goldman Sachs will begin laying off up to 3,200 employees. That's roughly about a 6% of its total workforce as part of this largest cost-cutting efforts since the 2008 financial crisis. So now there's other things that are being heightened. Now, remember, I want to connect the dots back to the House. What do they want to do? They want to cap the debt ceiling. They want to cap not talking about taxes, raising taxes anywhere. So it's keeping all of the one percenters, if you will, in their tax bracket. So this is what the newly elected House a speaker. The Freedom Caucus, I'm not even going to say GOP, the Freedom Caucus, what they're doing. Yeah, we need to pay attention. All right, y'all. In all of that, President Biden says, y'all not getting ready to shut me down. Not happening. And that this is, if you're liking this and you want other people to hear this information, if y'all would do us a favor with algorithm, hit the like and the love button or share. We would appreciate that. Again, it's not for people to follow us, it's for people to get the information. So President Biden launches another student debt overhaul. He's like, y'all gonna lock this one down? I got another one. So his administration student debt wipeout is kind of held up in the Supreme Court. The Education Department is moving ahead with another student debt revamp to lessen the burden for borrowers. So they're going to go through the Chuck Schumer side this time and push it over to the House. This proposal would change the rules of existing income driven repayment plans to slash payments millions of borrowers need to make their loans by more than 50%, allowing them to pay off their debt more quickly. So we have to see how that's happening as well. There's a lot. I see you, Frank Clay Jr. How are you? It's so interesting. I saw your book the other day. Go ahead and put your book in the chat so we can talk about it and people can see it. Y'all, he has a great book. He has a great book. You do want to check that out. So that's a lot of news. So I want to hear from you what I've shared so far, how much time we have. Whoa, that time goes clicking. What are you thinking? What can we do as citizens of the United States to continue? Again, I still believe with everything in me that the November the 8th, 2022 election shows that we, the people, we have some power and we cannot be afraid of the Freedom Caucus and these other shenanigans that are going on in the House of Chaos. We cannot allow that to stifle us or to silence us. So what do you think? What do we need to do? If y'all would quickly put that in there. And I haven't seen none because when I get into it, y'all, I get into it. So let me see what some of you are saying out here. Annette says they love recording. They want it to be as severe as a former occupant's images. Latrice Jones says, this is giving me scandal vibes. Where is Shonda Rhimes? We're talking about George Santos in here. Yeah, there's Frank Clay's book, A Way to Do Anything. You're talking about what I said. Yeah, A Way to Do Anything. Frank, I need you to put your book in here. Marion says, really isn't this censorship at work? Dr. Antoinette said, if comes after higher education, what happens to HBCUs in Florida? There's that. Yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah, Kim Edmondson shenanigans. Yeah, so a lot is happening there. A lot is happening there. That's why yesterday, when I read to you the pathway, the new immigration policy and the pathways of things that are happening, if you have a business, whatever. I named so many things yesterday. Here's our opportunity to get to that table, y'all. We probably have 2 years to get there because we don't know what's going to happen in 2024. So, y'all, let's do our part to get there. Let's do our part to get there. I was talking about Frank Clay's book. If you have a book, write it, get it out there. If you have content, put it out there on your blog, on your social media platforms, do a podcast. Y'all, there's so much we can do. One show, News in Motion, can't do it all. It takes all of us. It really does take a village for us to get out there and put this information out there before people. Y'all, conversations, it needs to come up in conversation. It needs to be happening in our churches as well, in the school system. Y'all, they are banning books and they are banning words. Frank Clay, there it is, evidence no one could imagine. Frank Clay is a memoir. It's amazing. It's excellent. It's somewhere in my office. But it is excellent. It is excellent. I had the opportunity to work with him on this book. So yeah. Y'all know I only do certain things. So his book, phenomenal. You want to check that out. And I don't want to say this in a negative. And Frank, I'm gonna have you on the podcast. I don't want to say this. Don't take this as a negative. But Black men need to read his book. Black men, everyone should read it, but Black men need to read his book. Black men need to read his book. All right, y'all. Before we talk about the Golden Globes, uh, ready to launch. That's a master class that will be happening on Saturday, January 21st. We'll put the link out here as well. If you have an opportunity to sign up to be a part of that, please do. The link is now in the chat. Sign up for that. Um, so a lot of amazing things are happening. A lot of people are coming forward, and so forth. Isaiah, go ahead and put your Cash App out there again as well as we're talking about this. You can go ahead and take that screen off and put your Cash App up. Again, why am I supporting Isaiah Jones? To number one, he's my nephew, uh, and he's not my biological nephew, but when you connect with a family, and his mom is like my sister, his dad is like my brother. So of course, the three children are my nephews and my niece. But there's a connection. I see his gifting. I see how consistent he is. Y'all, he signs on here 7:15 every morning. He comes back with stats. He reads. He says what needs to be changed. I implement things. Y'all know he just turned, was it 20 or 21, Isaiah? 20. Yeah, 21? 20, 20, 20. I'm seeing him in the green room, y'all. So he just turned 20, y'all. He's going to school. He's excited about it. He starts, as he shared with all of you, at Columbus State. So y'all, let's help him. Gas in the tank, helping with books, helping with some lunch. You're gonna need some lunch money. Lunch money doesn't end at high school. Lunch money. Look, I need some lunch money, coffee, whatever that is. Let's just love on him, pour into him. Y'all, $5, that gives him lunch for the day. Or $10, that gives him gas one block. Look, now it's just one block. But let's bless him. Thank you for that, Isaiah. And y'all want us to, and I want to thank all of you who will do that. All right, y'all, the Golden Globes happened last night. Shout out to Angela Bassett, Best Supporting Actress, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. There you go. Abbott Elementary did well in the TV series category. Y'all, when it first came out, I could not follow Abbott Elementary. I couldn't. I'm gonna be honest with you. But lately, I'm like, let me go back through Hulu and watch all these. And I find myself cracking up. It is a great show, absolutely great TV series. And y'all, I also got to shout out White Lotus. Yes, I'm stuck on White Lotus and I'm ready for the next series. But y'all, White Lotus did well last night. Is also, you can get all the winners and everything that's happened, also different speeches, if you go to variety.com. You can go to variety.com for more. All right, y'all. Now the inspirational message, and we are out of here. Latrice Jones said, Wakanda forever. Yes, yes, yes. I was disappointed, not unless I missed it. I was disappointed that I did not see anything from the women, the Woman King. Seriously. Um, seriously, that's my show. I watched that again back in December. The Woman King, that just, there were so many messages. I mean, Wakanda Forever, of course, hands down, amazing. But the Woman King, oh wow, so many messages. So y'all, here's the inspirational message for today, and I'm out. His love endures forever. That's all we need to know. That's all we need to know. So, whatever you may be faced with in this season, just know that His love endures forever. Whatever you are feeling lonely, know that His love endures forever. Any struggle, His love endures forever. Your victories, His love endures forever. Grief, I'm reading a lot about people who are dealing with grief. Just remember, His love endures forever. People who are struggling when they're seeing what's happening with our country and the government and people in places, remember, y'all, ultimately it's about His love, which endures forever. So before you get so stressed out, like what's happening, again, use the outline I showed you. If you just want to know, that's the process I use all the time in identifying what's really going on. And until I have answers, No sense to get stressed out. Even if I find out, wow, this is really happening, still no sense to get stressed out because his love endures forever. Either we're going to believe God or we're not. And I know there's people who tune in who are not believers, and but some of you say you still stay in here as I'm sharing the inspirational message. Some of you have indicated over the past 2.5 years from News in Motion that you have come to know the Lord through the inspirational message. And we've tried to help you connect with a fellowship in your area. Y'all, but I want to say to all of you, whether you are a follower or not, understand that one thing I know to be true is that God's love endures forever. All right, y'all. Before tomorrow, those of you, we sent out the email last week for those of you who did an annual membership on Patreon. Remember, Patreon is no more. That's why your bank account wasn't hit this month. Patreon is no more. The membership is up and running. You can opt in each month. It's not a yearly thing. This month, we're dealing with mentorship. So many of you have signed up. Thank you for that. Those of you who did the annual, you should have received an email. It went out on Friday, I believe, telling you what we need from you so that we can roll you over. We're sending out text messages, so we need to make sure we have your phone number. So you have to respond. There were 16 of you who did the annual, and we've only heard back from 4 of you of the information that we're looking for. So if you're looking for stuff, don't be mad at us. We sent you an email. Make sure you look for that email and respond tomorrow. I'm going to break down some more connections on our Senate. I'm going to deal with the Senate tomorrow, and then other news. So be sure to tune in. Y'all know what I say. Y'all remember there's a new variant out there that's kicking butt and taking names. People are ending up in the hospital. I gave y'all some statistics on yesterday. Y'all, those numbers are continuously rising. So listen, Kim Edmondson says, I don't read, LOL. I don't know what to do with you, Kim Edmondson. I'll just send you a text message. How about that? But anyway, y'all, until tomorrow, let me see. Frank Clay says, be a light of love to encourage yourself and others. A must do, a great word, my dear. Thank you, sir. Y'all, he lives in Kansas City. Is it Kansas City or Missouri? So we have someone coming in from another state. So anyway, stay well. Remember, make some bold moves. I'm out.